all have something we want to change about ourselves, whether it be our hair color, our eye color, our body type, or our personality. But what if there was a way to change all that? In my research, genetically designing babies is called PGD, and it's the ability to genetically design your child. PGD stands for pre-implantation genetic disorder. So in the future, we could all possibly design the children the way we want them to be. But designing babies isn't as easy as it seems. Today, I'm going to talk about why people use PGD, how it's used, and what are some positive and negative side effects. Let's start with why people use PGD. People having the ability to help your child before they're even born is every parent's dream. Most parents use PGD for treatment reasons. According to Designing Babies, What the Future Holds, PGD is used to avoid inherited diseases from the parents. By doing this, you're getting rid of the disease, and it's a type of therapy. It also is used to identify any gene disorders or an extra chromosome in the embryo. It's also used to help, say like your older sibling is sick with like leukemia. They can find an identical embryo and have the baby and use the stem cells and the blood to save the older sibling. In the book Designer Children, it's also used to prevent cystic fibrosis, Down syndrome, and hemophilia. It can also help enhance someone's memory and pre-select the sex of a baby to avoid any gender-related disorders. Some enhancement reasons that parents would use PGD would be to like enhance their looks, the way they act, and the way they think. In actionbioscience.org, you can also add the gene NRTB, which would make you a genius. Now that we know why people would use PGD, let's talk about how it's done. The first way is through in vitro fertilization. And according to howsciencestuffworks.com, first they would remove the eggs for fertilization. Then the embryo is created through in vitro fertilization in a lab. Genetic engineers then modify it and let it grow to the 8-cell stage. On the third day, they take 1 or 2 cells out to see if like there's any genetic disorders and look at it under a microscope. If the embryo is healthy, then they put it back into the womb. The second way is through germline gene therapy. With this, you put the traits that you want your child to have directly into the embryo, the sperm, and the egg. So you can put what eye color you want your child to have, the hair color, the body type. So you're essentially getting this child that you want exactly to look like. Now that we know how it's used, let's talk about the negative and positive side effects. According to Designing Babies, the article, some positive things have been, they've averted child diseases, they've eliminated some disabilities, and they've extended life. They've also there's been fewer abortions, and according to UCLA's medical journal, there's been 24% more pregnancies. But as positive as these all sound, there still are negatives. It's still in development, so it's a health risk to everybody. Most scientists are afraid that it will cause a Hitler effect, which is when societies want all blonde-haired, blue-eyed people. When genes are sometimes modified, it can counteract with crucial genes, so it might not even come out well. Also, genes don't come out right at birth, so it could affect you later on in life. Also, parents don't have a genetic connection with their children because it didn't happen naturally, and they're not really your child. They don't have any of your traits. As of right now, it's only offered to couples who are at risk for having a child with serious genetic disorders, or if your child has like leukemia and you need like a baby to save it. It's not regulated in the U.S. federal law right now. You have to have a court appeal, and you have to get it signed by them to even get it okayed right now. Genetically designing your baby is still a really touchy subject in the science world. Why people use PGD, how it is used, or how it is done, and the positive and negative side effects are all important aspects to this subject. Genetically designing your baby can be both helpful but negative. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens next in the study of PGD.